We're gonna do a new place.
Historic Japan.
Well, there's so many. There's the Meiji government, Meiji, whatever it's called. Anyway, we'll do in the middle of Konoha.
Udon.
It's something like that, bro. It's something. Odin, Oda, whatever. So last episode, was it last episode we talked about, or was off stream? I don't
It was
remember.
last episode, yeah.
Well, we talked about Class 1A versus the members of the Chunin exams. So we're gonna do the setting of Konoha. So this is for everyone doing with the same powers and everything, but they're going for their Chunin exams, not for their class whatever they were fighting for, the sports games. This is for the Chunin exams to be murderers. I'm gonna do 3 honorable mentions because these 3 people aren't on the list because I didn't really have a matchup
So
for
they were
them.
all being trained the same way.
Yes, they're all being trained this. Should we do like that? They're all being trained the same way.
If they're all being trained the same way, then it's a lot more fair.
Okay.
Because if they're not being trained the same way, Narutoverse cleans the slate.
Okay.
It's got to be because either you have to have them trained in the same verse or not, because they're all going to get just demolished by every mini ninja from Naruto.
Okay, I was just saying because some people like the ways of like a Mortal Kombat style, Naruto pops in, Deku pops in, who's winning, type of stuff.
I mean, we could. I mean, it depends, but at that point in the game, if you're going Chunin exam, Narutoverse versus school tournament, MHA, there is no planet, no universe where the Naruto group doesn't wipe them, absolutely sweep them. There's no possibility.
I guess.
So if you're going to make it to those 2 points in time, then you got to make it fair. You got to remove the time out of the equation, make that age the only factor, and then make them train the same way.
All right. So we'll train the same way. In the Konoha's training exams, the 3 honorable mentions, because I didn't have enough people to line them up, and they're not part of it. So in the training exams, you got a guy named Dosu, Yoryu, Akudo, and Zaku. They're 3 members of the Hidden Sound Village, which is Orochimaru's not made up village, but his own made village.
Right.
Zaku dies in the forest by Gaara. Dosu and Yori, they were used as pawns to resurrect the first Hokage during Orochimaru's invasion. So they were in the training exams, but they didn't finish. All right. So this is my list. Don't debate me on who they're against. We're just going with it. This is going to be 3 times too long if we fight to switch these names around. So we're going to do... Let's start from the bottom. Kiba versus Mashiro Ojiro. He is he's the guy with the stupid ass tail. That guy with 1 tail.
Oh, okay. Kiba white. Kiba's
got
no
1
diff.
move.
Yeah, no diff. Kiba.
Okay, Kiba it is. Choji versus Mezu Shoji, who is the guy with the 8 arms. Not 8 arms, the 4 arms. I don't remember. With the guy that could turn his hands to like eyeballs and stuff.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Choji versus
Actually, if they're trained the same way, I think the My Hero is taking that one.
I'm trying to think.
Choji's slow.
Yeah. What did he have for abilities back then?
I don't think he had a whole lot. Yeah. If they're all trained to be killer ninjas, I'd say, yeah, I'm saying My Hero takes that one, actually.
Oh, sad day.
Just because I think he's going to run laps around Choji.
I think so, too. Now that I actually think about it. So I needed some people to like lose and win in this thing. All right, Neji versus Fumigaki Tokiyama.
Who's that one?
He's the bird with the darkness.
At that point in time, Neji.
Really?
Yeah, because he didn't have great control over his shadow at that point in time.
That's true.
So
He only had
especially
like 2
unless he could
attacks.
get somewhere where there was like heavy shadow cover, Neji's taking him out. The time of day also carries a major factor in that fight too.
That's true. Yeah, Neji. And Neji's
But
just super smart.
if it's not at night, Neji's destroying him.
Well, we're doing it when the
Even
Chunin
at
exams
night,
happened.
that's the thing. Right. Even at night, he would still struggle to win because he lacks control over the shadow at that point.
Neji would notice that instantly. If he's struggling like that, he'd be like,
yeah, Neji's taking that.
8 trigrams. All right.
Yep.
Hinata versus Kayoki Jiro. How do you say that? She's the plug-in girl. Earlobe plugins.
Oh, Hinata wiping the floor with that chick.
To be honest, don't know what she does.
Hinata or the sound check?
The sound check.
The sound check, she can stick her ear jacks into walls and hear what's going on around.
Yeah, I know that, but combat-wise.
And then I guess she can make like a sonic wave too. But not at that point in time. At that point in time, she could just hear.
Oh, yeah.
So at that point in time,
that's how she was useful during that sports game, the sports training thing, the training thing.
Not even the sports training thing. The when they got attacked at the
yes,
just the training facility.
Training facility. That's what it was. Yeah.
But no, Hinata's gonna wipe the floor with her ass.
That's true.
Hinata's abilities are far superior.
Shikamaru versus Denki. Denki is the one shot. The one shot
lightning user?
Lightning, yeah.
Chicky.
No.
I tried thinking of a way Denki would win that one, but I still think Shikamaru would win that one.
Shikamaru would
purely
win because
you go. Purely because as much as Shikamaru doesn't want to participate in literally anything, he's smart enough to recognize that if he gets hit by dude's attack, like there's a good chance he don't die.
Yeah, and they're training. Well, they don't train together. Depends if they're from the same village too, because this is a whole bunch of villages. There's training exams. So if Denki's from the same village,
assuming they don't know anything about each other.
If he's from like the village of the sand or whatever, like Gara, then yeah, he wouldn't know, and it'd still be Shikamaru because Shikamaru, when he faced who's his first person, Suchi, something like that. He had her in the shadow bind before it started. So even if they're from a different area, Denki could come in and be like, "I'm gonna one shot you." Well, before it even started, Shikamaru had
he's just gonna literally control the direction of where he shoots the lightning, and then
he started it, and they're like, "All right, begin." He goes,
"He's not gonna walk out hands in pockets."
Yep, I already have you.
Game over.
Yeah, you can't move. That's exactly what he did against what's his name. And the whole time he's like, he had the jitsu, and he's like, what a drag.
Yep.
I don't want to be here. It's like, bro, you just outsmarted the hell out of her. 10-10 versus Asui. I did this one because I actually am going to think Asui takes it. The frog. I think she takes it.
Oh, easy. 100%. Trained as a ninja, that frog? Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
She was one of the most useful characters in My Hero in general out of 1A.
I think it was either her versus, I chose her versus Ashido.
Weirdest character on the planet, but
I think Ashido would still win. Asu would win. Ochoko, I'm just picking girls. Ochoku, 10-10 would still win.
Honestly, Froppy as a freaking ninja that thought is scary.
Yeah. 10-10 loses against all females of 1A. The only exception is Toru, because she's only invisible. That's all she does. Well, even so.
If she's trained as a ninja.
Yeah.
She's going to stealth the right behind that hoe. 10-10 just...
Freaking... Dude, 10-10 loses to freaking the ball on the head, the Mineta. Mm-hmm. Loses to Mineta.
Mineta's just going to be like, take this, hoe! Starts throwing out his...
Exactly.
10-10's just gonna find a way to just step on all of them, so she's just walking around with.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that's hilarious. I have Misumi versus what I put down? Zero? Who the hell is that? I'm looking at the list. Who did I have? Oh, I wrote it. Yeah, okay. Hantasero. Mizumi was part of the Sound Village. He's no one remembers him. He's part of the Sound Village. He faces Kankuro. He's the guy that can like dislocate his body or whatever and wrap
Oh,
around you
yeah,
and wrap around you. But
yeah.
Kankuro beat him by breaking every bone in his body. But anyway, because Naruto's not for kids, guys. It may seem like it, but and then Hantasero is the one with the tape. And so the question is, who wins?
Being that that's all he had to physically like overpower him to win, I would say my hero takes that one. Because as trained as a ninja and trained to kill, he's just going to tape him up from afar, and then once he like physically can't move anymore, he's just going to go in for the kill after. I would give that to my hero just for that fact, is he can maintain distance and speed, because he's a pretty fast dude in general. In my hero, in their verse alone, I would say I would give that to my hero, to Tape Man.
Okay.
Just super scotch.
Okay. Super scotch. Now we have good old Kankuro. I love Kankuro versus Ida. Old school Ida though. Couldn't he only do his ability for freaking 10 seconds before he loses?
At a certain speed, he can maintain a high speed for a while, but at his max speed, he can't last that long. Again?
It's annoying.
I would say, depending on the terrain,
I think it's Kankuro.
I think it's Kankuro. If it's an open area, Ida. Although you could argue that Ida is a better strategist. So if he could lure Kankuro into a more open area, then Ida would win that.
This is a Chunin exam building. I said that already, right? Getting remember?
Oh.
So it's that circle. And Kankuro has he can in the early days, he's a monster now, but earlier days he could control 3 puppets. And he can control puppets. He technically has a shadow clone. That's how he beat Mizumi. Is by the fact that when Mizumi strangles him with his whole body and tries to choke him out, it's actually a puppet. So he technically has 4 bodies on the field.
I would say Kankuro, just because Kankuro would find a way to trip him up. While he's trying to find a way to abuse his speed to win. He'd use his puppets to...
Yeah, and his
that's what I would say. I'll give that to
puppets have weapons and knives and poison and all that good stuff. That if Ida is coming in and breaking his puppets or whatever, he's probably going to get injured while hitting these puppets. It's ninja style. He's probably going to get stabbed at some point. Even the prick, Kankuro has poison. I don't know though.
I would say Kankuro, just because of where Ida was and strategically and in the location of a confined finite space.
Yeah,
I would say Kankuro.
Okay. All right. No one's on you. Shino versus Kirishima. Shino versus Kirishima. The Rock. The Rock. The Shanks. If he was that Rock guy, that's what he looks like. Shino.
I don't know.
Shino.
I don't know about that one. Because
what did Kirishima do in the beginning?
Well, Shino's abilities, I don't see her ever getting past his abilities defense.
He doesn't have to get past it.
She would have to.
Shino's abilities is all the bugs. It's all the bugs. It's all the poison bugs.
Yeah, and if they can't do anything,
bugs. Remember, this is ninja, right? So if we're training a ninja, that means
ninja rock solid. Then dude's not getting.
Hey. That means his abilities are chakra based. Shino, if all he has to do to get past this guy's ability is to use his chakra absorbing.
If it's chakra based,
ants or tarantulas or whatever it was, I can't remember the bug, beetle. That's all he has to do. That's what he has in the beginning. He goes. All he needs is 1.
That's fair.
That's why he was so badass. Who did he lose to? So he was so badass. I thought he was going to be a huge contender throughout the show. Oh, Shino versus Tamari. Did he win? It says it was interrupted. I guess I gotta go back and watch the show. It was
I haven't watched Naruto in so long.
But yeah. I think Shino. Do you remember Shino in the beginning? He was freaking. He was the first, the Phantom Troop that does this.
Right.
He was the first guy. I'm badass.
Yeah, I know.
I loved him. Oh,
if they're all their abilities are all chakra based, then that's a good point.
That's your words. They're all trained like ninjas.
I didn't say that they were. That doesn't mean that all the powers work the same way.
No, but anyone that can harden themselves,
they were trained the same.
Anybody that can harden themselves with joining was all chakra based. The Raikage with his lightning abilities and his strong body, whatever, was all hockey based, and he was Raikage, not hockey based, chakra based.
Chakra based.
So I mean,
Sasuke. At that level, no, Shino wins.
Good. Sasuke versus Todoroki. Ice. Remember, Sasuke has Chidori, Sharingan, and all that.
I'm gonna have to give that one to Sasuke.
Why?
Just raw power at that age. He was stronger than everyone, and before Todoroki even gets the ability to use his ability once, Sasuke's already gonna just that match is over. That's gonna be like a Shikamaru thing. He's just gonna win that right off the rip.
I gotta give Todoroki a little more credit though.
It's not because I'm not saying Todoroki's bad, but
no,
given the instantaneous nature of Sasuke's attacks, Todoroki's not gonna be able to react fast enough to block line of sight from Sasuke.
And if he does, he can just use like Chidori and all that kind of stuff to get out of it because he doesn't have fire yet. So like he doesn't have damage abilities. He just has, unless he stabs him with the ice. But
yeah, sorry, Sasuke's gonna win that one at that level.
Right now we have three. We have 3 My Hero and 1, 2, 3.
Naruto's not on this list?
Not yet. Hold on. What did I say? 3 My Hero and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6 and 3 going on Naruto. It's about to be 7 to 3. Rock Lee was hard to put against anybody because Rock Lee wipes the floor with most people on their team.
Yeah.
Especially when he takes off his freaking weighted ankles.
Causes an earthquake.
I put him against Rikido Sato. And that is, people who don't know who that is the guy that drinks the, what does he do? It's a big body. He drinks, he drinks something or something?
He eats sugar.
Sugar, yeah. He eats sugar. He eats sugar to eat strong or whatever.
Rock Lee.
Yeah. So Rock Lee was harder than Sasuke or Naruto because of the fact
I would have put Rock Lee. I would say a better fight to watch would have been Rock Lee versus Todoroki. That would have been a better fight, but Rock Lee still would have won.
But still won. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock Lee versus Naruto. No, Rock Lee wins. So it's hard. Yeah. Early time. Gaara.
It'd be more fun. It'd be a more entertaining fight to watch.
Yes. Last 2. I could not do Naruto versus Midoriya. Sorry. Cannot. I can't do MC.
Why?
MC versus MC. You can. So lame. No. We're doing Naruto versus Bakugo. That's what we're doing.
When you think about it, they're both hot-headed. I can see that.
And they both go in without thinking. It takes Naruto a while to finally have some battle IQ.
I'd actually say Bakugo would beat Naruto at that level.
I think so.
Bakugo can still, even though he doesn't have his like super nitroglycerin attack, he still can fire off fireballs like it's nothing. They're just not as powerful as they are now in the verse. And Naruto doesn't really have any long distance.
No, he doesn't have long distance, but he does have. He can
summon up to 2 clones at that time.
No, he can summon up. He can summon like 100. Literally, episode 2, when he learns the ability, he does it against Izuku Sensei.
Oh, I thought it took longer.
No,
even then, I would still say Bakugo would win because Bakugo can. He still had his AOE attack at that point.
Yeah, I guess.
He would just massive AOE, just be like, all right, Naruto was standing there. How big is the room?
Yeah, I'll give it to Bakugo, but I really do feel if Naruto, if you give Naruto just a little bit of time, just a little bit, he could do something with it. With Shadow Clones.
Yeah, and well, if he can he replace himself with the clones?
Can't replace himself with clone, but he can do what he did against Neji and just have clones that operate on their own and be underground the whole time, or be inside of the wall the whole time. Anything like that to surprise Bakugo, because Bakugo
No, if he
super
can't,
hot.
I forgot. He can't switch places with his clones. He's not winning that.
Bakugo is so hot-headed and he's so blind. If Naruto just like Neji was so cocky that he was so blind. So if he can give Naruto just a little bit of time, I think there is an upset very much there. Bakugo probably wins, but the upset is very prominent there because of the fact that he can hide in the ground anywhere else, sneak up on him, do all that kind of stuff, distract him.
Yeah, but the problem is Bakugo is going to blow the ground up. So, yeah, sorry, Bakugo wins that. Naruto's not strong enough at that level yet to.
He also Bakugo can't fly very well. He can't fly very well. He can't be in the air very well.
No, but he doesn't have to be in the air long. He just poof up and bomb. Yeah. AoE attack. And 80% of his clones go away after attack 1, and he's going to go higher in the air after firing off that explosion because that explosion is going to push him higher up, and he's going to go bomb number 2.
Mm-hmm. And then he gets disqualified because he's could kill somebody to kill everybody else. And then he gets disqualified. That's
we're not playing. We're just talking about who's going to win. All right.
To be honest, with bond number 1, bond number 2, Naruto can still dodge that easily. They're ninjas.
They have to stay in that circle though. They can't leave that circle. And Bakugo can.
If Bakugo goes up in the air, is leaving the circle.
No, because they're still in that confined space. So they can jump and jump kick and stuff like that. So that's basically saying if you'd have to make the rule where you can't leave the ground.
No, not leave the ground. But if he's above the bleachers because he's doing the high air attack, if he's nuking the ground, he has to be high enough to nuke the ground. So that means he's high. That's a bad ability. You gotta give me something else because this dude's above the stance. If he's gonna nuke the ground,
he's gonna go that. He's not gonna go that high up. He doesn't need to.
So he's gonna damage himself. 15 feet in the air, and he just goes.
Not even. He can stand on the edge. He can literally stand on the edge of the circle. Blast himself up like 10, 15 feet in the air, and then make a funnel coming out of him and just straight fire.
That's already too high. He's already. You just told me that he's on the edge of the circle on the top, and then he goes 15 feet higher than that. That's not out of the circle. You just told me that's not out of the circle.
It's not out of this. I wouldn't say that because all of the ninjas at that time could jump that high. That was standard. So I wouldn't say that's too high. And okay, let's say that is too high. He still has other attacks that he can use that are AoE that aren't as powerful that will incinerate his clones.
Yes, but Naruto hides very well. He did it against Neji. He did it against a lot of people. He just has to hide. And then think about it. Think about this. If he does all the explosions, what's the most basic?
Why are we still doing this? You just agreed that Bakugo would win. Why are you trying to fight for Naruto now?
Hold on. What's the most cliche thing people do when there's a ton of explosions because Bakugo's hot-headed? A ton of explosions. What's the one thing that's there? Smoke everywhere. Smoke. This dude's too hot-headed. I honestly believe the upset. I'm going Naruto now. If he does exactly what you're doing and he does all this fiery ability, blows stuff up, makes all this smoke, Naruto's gonna be like, thank you. Smoke is mine, and I can make more clones in the smoke. Where am I at? You don't know. I'm in the smoke. And if you blow up the smoke, guess what? There's only more smoke. There's so many things. For sake of it, I'll give you just Bakugo, whatever.
I'm sorry. We're adding rules as we go.
AoE, it's not rules. Even if he's on the ground, even if he's up in the air, bro, he has to come down at some point. And Naruto's just gonna be sitting on the wall like this, just gonna wait for him to come down. And then he comes down, and then phew. But I'll give it Bakugo. Moving on, Gaara versus Midoriya.
Gaara. At that point in time, Midoriya couldn't use his ability without breaking his body. Gaara.
Yeah.
Well. Now that I think about it, honestly, even if Midoriya broke himself, I don't know if Gaara could defend against a force that strong. At that point, I don't think Gaara could defend against a force that strong. Because even with just Midoriya flicking his finger, he can almost wipe out a building. So I don't know. Midoriya might actually have that one just by sheer overpowering him. That's a tough one because I would say Midori could overpower him because I don't think Gara's Sand is strong enough to take a hit like that.
It can take a lot of stuff. One of the hardest techniques.
But no one's ever hit him as hard as Midoriya can do with just one attack like that.
Technically, Chidori in the Naruto verse, Chidori was the ability that can do it, the damage of his finger. Because Chidori is technically a very hard ability to use and move, and is very powerful. It doesn't look powerful, but it was the only thing to break through his thing. I don't know, because Garo.
I think Midoriya would, because if, let's say, he can slightly withstand the one attack with his finger, he still used his feet in the fight against Todoroki. I think Midoriya would try and kick him. And if Midoriya kicks Gaara, that's game. With the sand, that's game.
Maybe
one of Midoriya's kicks at that point in time can literally send someone flying halfway across the nation. That's game.
Not in the beginning.
Yes, in the beginning, at that point, yes.
He never did that. No, he never did it, and he never went. No, I don't think so.
He just didn't do it because he literally shatters his bones.
I don't think so. It. Think about it. He did like what 30% against the guy that invaded their training facility. Didn't even kill him. That was to his stomach. Didn't even kill him.
That was against a Nomu, a super enhanced creature built to be as strong as All Might.
I'm talking about the guy. Talking about the one when they invaded the camp. When they were training in the woods. The legendary fight where he's laying on his back and he goes, and he like leaps up and like punches the freaking thing. He goes like 25%, and the guy gets knocked back, but it's like season like 1, and he's still.
I'm trying to figure out who you're talking about that he punched. In the woods, that was season 3.
Was it really that late?
I think that was end of season 2. The training thing was season 2. Season 3 is when they broke All for One out of prison.
Muscular. He fights Muscular.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Oh, he does 100%.
Yeah.
He does 100% and can't even kill the guy.
That's also because Muscular could literally become like a giant.
But he was just he wasn't that big. He was big. He was huge. He was like, oh my! I'm watching this scene right now.
His ability wasn't just he could just make muscle. He could make his muscle fibers as strong as steel.
Yeah, and that's what Gaara Sand is compared to in the manga.
Gaara Sand does not amount to the quantity of muscle that he tried to punch through, and he punched a massive hole through it.
And you gotta. Gaara has Sand Mausoleum too, or not Sand Mausoleum, Sand Coffin.
That's why I said at that point in time, that's tough because Gaara later on in the show, there's no one on My Hero that's beating him. But at that point in time,
he's also Shikaku, by the way. So even if Deku does land a good hit, Shikaku's coming out, and then it's game over. Not even full transformation.
Well, the problem is Midoriya only needs to land one.
Yeah, and that's
how strong Midoriya's power is because he is still he. The problem with Midoriya in season 1 is he could only access his power at its fullest extent. It would be 100% power.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. All of his attacks were 100%, and his body couldn't handle that yet. So he would get a 100% of one for all, straight to the teeth.
No, one straight kick, to his sand.
Which would go through it instantly.
It didn't go through Mr. Iron Man, Mr. Steel Man here. What makes you think it's going to go through Gaara's Steel Sand?
Who did he not go through?
It didn't go through Muscular. He's still alive. And
Muscular is a totally different story.
He's alive is literally,
he is a 50-foot creature.
No,
made of pure muscle fibers as strong as steel.
Dude, this guy is like 6'4". What are you talking about? Huge.
When he's in his final form, when Midoriya wins that match,
I am watching.
He's humongous.
Let me watch the scene real quick. No, trust me, no. Gaara, you got to dumb this down. This is the Naruto verse, bro. No.
And that's the problem. Midoriya is literally a game-breaking, like a verse-breaking power. That's the thing. That's One for All that's what that power is. That's why All for One wants it so bad. It's because that power is game-breaking. That power is world-breaking, world-ending. It can literally, it's the most strong. That's the point of the The whole point.
Garo's sand is considered incredibly strong, capable of withstanding immense force, absorbing attacks. Protects himself against all physical attacks. And can be. So you're saying it's a one-shot done? Now you're telling me right now?
I think it's going to be a one-shot done. I think Midoriya's going to try and do the flicking thing. Huh?
You think he's going to die? Because
no.
he's not going to die. As I'm saying, Shikaku's going to come out. The game won't be over. Even if he does knock Garo down, he's going to get one. He's going to get one of Shikaku's tails. He's going to.
I think he's going to try and
he's going to come out and absolutely mess up Izuku instantly.
At that stage with, well, no, because he couldn't control Shikaku at that point in time, could he?
He couldn't control it. So it's just a murderous being half. Just like he was against Naruto, half.
And then the match is over,
and then it's over. So it's going to be like reversed again. Even if he does go, if he goes
Shikaku, the game's over in general because they're going to disqualify him.
No.
Yeah.
No, because
Chunin exam rules, they're going to disqualify him because he's going to try to murder Midoriya.
He murdered in the woods. He murdered like 3 people in the woods.
That's not the point. The point is they're fighting during the Chunin exams. If
the woods is the Chunin exams. The woods was the Chunin. Chunin exam was 3 things, just like the Hunter exam. There was 3 things. He murdered in the woods.
No. It is in the room. They cannot kill. They cannot fight to kill.
In this arena? Are you sure?
Yes. That is what you said. Sure. That is what you said. Yes. Because you said the same thing about Bakugo. Because if Bakugo just blew up the whole arena, he'd get disqualified. That's exactly what you said. It's the same thing. It'd be the same thing with Gaara.
Because he's
Shikaku comes out. He's going to try to kill him.
Because he's getting disqualified because he's going to kill bystanders. I'm not talking about bystanders. I'm talking about one-on-ones. He get disqualified.
He can't control Shikaku. So if Shikaku comes out, who's to even say he's going to go after Midoriya?
Because that's what he did against Naruto. He singled out Naruto over Sasuke and over the.
Because he had the aura of the Nine Tails. If Naruto is in the fucking stands, guess who she's going after?
No, it's not because Naruto was not. That's not the reason. The reason is because they were already 1v1ing. That's not how it goes. Go back and watch the show. No, he's going. When Naruto's half, he's still half. He remembers. He knows what he's doing. It's when he goes full like 5 tails, 4 tails, whatever he did, when he's fully masked up. That's when he lost all consciousness. He didn't lose it when he was half. Same with Gaara. He's gonna get one shot. Gaara's gonna get back up, pissed as I smell blah, and then he's going to annihilate Izuku. And
if he has a chance,
if he's gonna have a chance, because it's a 9 tails, which is or not 9, it's a 3 tails, already more powerful than Midoriya. Doesn't matter if he can flick all 10 of his fingers.
Well, yeah. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's also going to depend on being trained as a ninja. If he's going to be stronger at that point in time.
And to be honest, he's probably can't even train as a ninja. Now, I won't go there. I'm giving it to Gaara because he's a Jinchuriki. But Midoriya will probably win in a quick fight, unless he uses his sand, because he will just. All it takes is a quick sand coffin, and he's dead. Because it's instant. It's not suffocating, it's instant. Gaara just tightens the sand, you're dead. Anyway, imagine him in the Chunin exams, Midoriya. They're not even gonna allow him to be a ninja. You can't control your powers, so you hurt yourself. Every time you use your abilities, you hurt yourself, and you end up in the ER.
Okay, if we're doing that, then we have to make the stipulation that Midoriya can control one for all. And at that point, if Midoriya can control one for all to its fullest extent, then guess what? Midoriya wins.
He does win if he can control without hurting himself. But that's not the case. We're doing season 1s of season 1s. I'm just saying if he was actually in the
stipulations to try and win our arguments here. We keep making up more shit.
No, shut up.
That's exactly what's going on.
I told you Gaara wins. End of story. I'm now saying Midoriya. Imagine Midoriya in Narutoverse in general. This man wouldn't even be in the classroom because they're not going to allow someone in the field that every time he uses any of his abilities, he gets gravely injured.
I don't think that's the case because I think at that point, if he's born with the ability of one for all,
then he's sitting in the classroom for a very long time. Everyone's going to go
Not
past
even,
him.
because if he's born with the ability, that's the thing. If he's born with the ability of One for All, One for All will gradually get stronger with him. Not the other way, or not him have to get strong enough to use it. He would gradually get stronger and stronger as he goes. So let's put a number on it. Let's say he can use 30% of One for All at that point in time. 30 or 40%.
Without breaking a finger?
Without breaking himself. Like, that's just the max he can tap into right now, is 30 or 40%.
Mm-hmm.
Because after training as a ninja, having that power for 12, 13 years, that's the max he can tap into right now as an adolescent.
Mm-hmm.
At 30 to 40% power, Midori wins.
Yes, maybe. We don't know. We don't know if that is more powerful than a Jinchuriki or a tail beast in the Naruto verse. We're just going off of what we know.
Midoriya is from the same village as Gaara wins. But if they're from opposing villages or different villages, Midoriya wins. That's the only stipulation. Because if they're from the same village, Midoriya being the strongest from their village at that point in time, even with him being a Jinchuriki, they would be training together and they would be sparring with each other.
Yeah.
Because he'd be the only one that could go up against Gaara and not get annihilated.
Yeah.
So, if they're from the same village, Gaara wins, because Gaara will know how to counter without having to go ape shit. If they're from opposing villages, and Gaara not knowing who he is,
and neither does Midoriya
wins.
Neither does Midoriya. Midoriya doesn't know he's a Jinchuriki.
40% Detroit Smash is knocking Gaara into next week.
What about if he turns into a full tail beast? And he goes, I'm gonna hit you with a tail beast ball that splits continents.
Well, at that point, that whole fight would be over. He'd be disqualified.
It wasn't in the show.
No, but an attack that can split continents would most definitely kill bystanders nearby and afar.
Hey, man. If he does, he does. You told me Bakugo was good.
That's not the same. I'm talking about an attack that might make make your seats a little warm. Not an attack that will literally destroy or change the face of the earth.
Hey man, they let Naruto in. They let the Nine Tails, 3 times strong as Shikaku. They let the Nine Tails be in a ninja and be in this stuff. A hot-headed Nine Tails.
I'm not saying that's not the case, but neither of them can access the full extent of the tailed beast at that point in time. Naruto could hardly even muster 3 tails without going completely ape. Gaara's is no exception.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I still think Midoriya is going to win that at 40% power. Midoriya wins.
Yeah, but we're not doing that.
You just want Gaara to win.
No, that's a cool take.
Right, for sake of we're almost at 2 hours.
No. That's a cool take. Listen, that's a cool take. But we're doing it like we've done with everybody else. They're from the same village and everything, but they're popping them in.
If they're from the same village,
he's breaking fingers.
If he's not breaking fingers, if he is born with the shit.
But we're not doing that. That's not Midoriya.
That's not how the Naruto verse works.
Fine. Then Shoto has fire and ice. Fine. Then Bakugo can nuke the Eiffel Tower in an instant. Fine.
Exactly.
Fine. That's why Tokiyami wins against Neji. No question there. Fine. We're gonna do it with Denki. He can do more than one lightning strike.
I'm not riding one hero verse.
Ida can go the speed of sound now because he had 11 years to master his speed.
No. Midoriya is the only one you can have that even remote conversation of, okay, he has to be born with it at that point in time for this, because you can't transfer your powers and abilities to other people. You can teach them how to use it in Naruto's verse, but you can't just hand One for All or All for One to anybody in Naruto's verse. That's what we're doing, right? So he has to be fucking born with it.
Why? Why is it the 4th Hokage is the man that knows all jutsu. Can he not just pass? This is a jutsu.
That means you can.
One for All is a jutsu, which means you can pass it down, right? You can pass it down. So that means that anybody can learn, or technically, most people can learn.
Essentially, treat Midoriya as a Jinchuriki, but a really strong one.
No Jinchuriki. He has a jutsu. If we're doing Naruto verse, he has a jutsu.
No.
Which means
treat Midoriya like you would treat the Uchihas.
Okay,
It's a
what's that supposed to be?
bloodline. It's a bloodline ability.
What
Unless
do-
you steal their eyes, nobody but someone with Uchiha blood is going to get it.
We just did the entire bracket the opposite. That means everybody has their abilities since the straight up beginning, so everyone's
No.
way more proficient. Yes, you are doing that. You're doing that for Midoriya. How? Why
Midoriya is the only one who didn't have his abilities from age 1 to 12.
There you go. Then that's
That
what we're
means
dealing with. That's what we're going to deal with. That's how we're going to do this. Then, if we got to keep it fair for
everybody else had their abilities from when they were born
yes,
to when they were 12.
and that's how we're going
Midoriya
to.
didn't. He was quirkless.
Mm-hmm. And that's how we're going to do it. Sasuke didn't have his Sharingan until he was like 13 years old. So most of his powers didn't come until later on in his life anyway.
Garwins.
So
Fine. Garwins.
We're good.
Garwins. I'm
Hey
so
guys,
done.
I brought up the Sasuke.
You're a fucking Garo rider.
You're
a fucking Garo
Sasuke
rider.
power. I brought
It's
the
fine.
Sasuke power at the end. I got y'all. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. He didn't get most of his powers until he was 13 years old too. Okay, here we go. Everybody else got it, and we're doing him the same way. End of story. No, you're a Midoriya dick rider. He's breaking fingers. He is breaking fingers.
You're
He's
just
himself.
discrediting his abilities and their impact that they have.
Shikaku is going to love the fact that that Midoriya is breaking fingers, and he can smell the blood. He's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, I want to kill you more." End of story. Next week we will then go through the winners. Well, I'll make another bracket for the next part of the winners. Bakugo, Gaara, Rock Lee, Sasuke, Shino, Kankuro, Hanta Zero, Isui, Shikamaru, Hinata, Neji, Mezzo, and Kiba. Which is going to turn into just mostly a Naruto.
Mm-hmm. Like I said.
But there is no Naruto in the ending here. So some of the top hitters aren't in here. So we'll see. And I can't do Rock Lee versus Gaara because we already know how that ended. Gaara won. So interesting. Maybe I'll add you know what I should do? I should add next week a little small bracket for the teachers. Kakashi wins. Never mind.
Yeah, I'll say that there's Kakashi's running through My Hero like it's freaking warm up.
Yeah, that's game over for him.
That's a warm up for Kakashi.
Who's even the teachers? It's
or Might Guy.
Aizawa, Yamato. Technically,
Guy
it's
Sensei.
also All for One.
Guy Sensei would walk through all of the teachers.
He would walk through Ectoplasm, Ken, All Might, Yamato.
Well, All Might might be the only one that would make it to Kakashi.
Well, yeah, he'd make it. Well, Gaara, technically, Might Guy.
And Eraserhead, he's just useless because they're not quirk based and fucking chakra based. No, so he's just useless unless you're gonna say he can use chakra to suppress other people's chakra.
There you go. That's very unique to only him in the entire Naruto verse, which is fine. So, sure, he can suppress chakra. That means it's going to turn into hand to hand. It's hand to hand.
Kakashi is going to kick his ass. Yeah,
yeah. He was Ambo at like 9, so he wins. Because the fucking barely see. So, I don't know if my guy wins against All Might. 2 different power, but I mean, my guy will almost beat Madara, who is god level in Naruto. All Might, or All for One, I guess is god level in My Hero way.
One for all, but
one for all.
Yes. I think my guy would win if we're doing All Might after post fight against All for One, where he's slowly declining.
No, we doing season one.
Season one. My guy,
really?
Because he just has to evade and wait for All Might to tire himself out.
And I guess my guy if he goes 8th grade, and he's a master taijutsu, so he's just gonna be sitting there, you know. And then he goes to the 8th gate if he has to. He probably wouldn't. He probably wouldn't go 8th gate unless he'd probably go like 7th, unless All Might is actually
All Might would is powerful enough to push him to do it. Yeah,
but not for 8th gate, because 8th gate means death. If All Might isn't like threatening the world, my guy won't go to 8th gate.
That's fair. Yeah.
So it'd just be 7th.
That's still strong enough to keep up with All Might.
I think keep up, but I think All Might probably wins.
I don't know. I would
Guy's
say
faster.
no because my guy has more stamina.
He's way because
My
that's
guy has
true because
it's a battle of attrition.
Because my guys just won't stop training for 25 years, and
Yeah.
All Might just goes after training for 10 years. He goes, "I have my abilities now. Now I don't have to do anything." Okay, all right, fair enough. Fuck you, All Might. Trash can. Garbage. All right.
Rock Lee or Mike guy is also he's just much faster than All Might.
That's true. And
All Might's basically the Hulk that doesn't go Hulk. He's smart Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
That's more inclined to fight.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is basically what All Might is. But All Might's a lot stronger than the Hulk.
That's fair.
But physical abilities and speed wise, that's Hulk and All Might are the same. As far as how far fast they can run and how far they can jump and how high they can jump. I would say that's a good equivalent.
Yeah.
But, all right. It's been a while since we've done a 2-hour episode, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a fat minute. I'm going to see if Rachel's still up. Otherwise, I might be on, might not be. All right. Well, that was fun. I knew there would be arguing at the end. Garl for the win, my brother. All right. We outie.
See y'all next week.
Look at how sour he is. That's no sourdough.
Fuck you. Sourdough.
Peace, everybody.